On to the December 15th, 2020 meeting of the Dyer Town Council. Please stand for the pledge, and let's reserve a moment of silence after the pledge for Police Officer William Newmeyer and former Town Council member Debbie Newmeyer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have the roll call, please.
Here. Here. Present. Here.
Present. Also, we have State Representative Hal Slager with us this evening. We have citizen input. Do you have any citizens that would have any input for us? Seeing none?
Yeah, we have not received any emails or public comments at townofdyer.com.
Okay.
Those are also up on your screens.
You're going to read it?
No, we do not have any.
Okay.
And if you look at your screens, we have it up on the screen. So
Okay,
you'll see them there if they come in.
I will entertain a motion to have Alan Brooks be the Dyer Town Council President for 2021 and Mary Tanis as the Vice President.
I'll make that motion.
I have a second.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
No.
Aye. Thank you. The consent agenda. You have a consent agenda before you, including the minutes of the November 11th, 2020 Town Council meeting, the minutes of the November 21st, 2020 Town Council executive session, claims totaling $1,612,353,353.32. Resolution 2020-22 uncollectible debit. Ordinary policy for electronic attendance at public meetings, 2020 street reconstruction, 2019 CCMG award, the final change order number 1, water district bond sales results, and Arbor Day proclamation. And by the way, the Arbor Day proclamation, we missed that in April, so we're doing it now so that we have it to comply with the rules for Tree City and some of the other things that we are part of. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Next, we have announcements. All town offices will be closed due to COVID until further notice. Public hearing for the comprehensive plan, 7 p.m., December the 21st at the Plan Commission meeting. We have reports from the town council. Anybody? Steve, you have anything?
Thank you. I just would like to say congratulations to our state rep-elect coming up. I don't know, did you get sworn in already?
I was sworn in.
Oh, okay. Then congratulations on our state rep for District 15. And I'd like to congratulate all the others in our area that also were elected, including our new President of the United States, President Biden, and Assistant Vice President here. So it's a good time to be in. I hope things will be getting better. Are we going to have one more meeting next week? Or
All depends.
Well, if we don't, I'd like to wish everyone,
Just in case.
a very merry, a safe, a healthy, and happy Christmas and holidays, whatever you celebrate. And looking forward to seeing everyone again next year. So thank you.
Thank you. Eric?
I have nothing at this time.
Bob?
I have nothing.
Ellen?
I'll defer to the chief. I know he's got some great news concerning the body cams.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I know one thing that we should all be really grateful for, and that's that the bridge is open. I have heard from so many people that the bridge is open and it's so nice. And I have to compliment whoever designed the bridge, did a beautiful job, because it's a nice looking bridge and it's just so nice that it's open before the holiday. And I do want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Robinson Engineering was the engineer on that.
Robinson Engineering, they did a
Weedham,
fine
who
job.
used to be our engineer, now moved, but he was the engineer on that job.
Ah, great job. And he said that they should be done by the end of next week.
Yeah, we're gonna walk through on Monday.
Okay, thank you. Clerk Treasurer?
Yes, I have some donations. One for $430 is to the sale of the t-shirts that were done at the fundraiser. And then additional 500 towards the K9. And we also have $25 towards the chief's discretion. So
The motion to approve the donations.
Motion to approve the donation.
Have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Bob,
Bye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Anything else, Clerk Treasurer?
Nothing else at this time.
Okay, Town Manager,
Nothing other than what's here.
Town Attorney?
The Hammond water rate litigation is heating up. There are some issues that would affect more than the utility board's concerns, and I think an executive session to discuss these developments might be appropriate in the very near future.
To do that, we can do that next week. If we when we have our meeting or some other time.
Well, we have Plan Commission.
We have Plan Commission Monday at 7. So we could, I don't expect the meeting to be very long, just cleaning up any little odds and ends.
Okay.
Here, we can vote, we can start at 6 with executive session and then move to the other meeting. If Plan Commission's a few minutes late, we'll be the end of it.
Is that agreeable with everyone?
21st? Yeah, I think that's the date.
I won't be here, but whatever y'all want to do.
Everybody else okay?
Yep. I'll be here.
Okay.
50-50.
See?
It's a 50-50.
Okay. All righty. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay.
I will.
We have boards and commissions. Frank, anything?
Our phosphorus project got permanent approval from the state, so that'll be going out to bed here after the holidays. Works continued on the bond issue projects. At least a couple of them or a few of them may be ready for bidding sometime here shortly, hopefully after the first of the year, at least those that are the distribution line, the pipe works at the booster station, as well as the interconnect with Cherville. And work progresses on the others. I also know we had a successful bond sale with a good rate. So those expenses for that will come in obviously less than we had originally budgeted, which is a good thing. But again, a lot of work right now, but continuation of our existing project. So it's going to be a very busy upcoming year for the water and sanitary utilities. Everyone else as well, I assume so. But that's all.
Okay, thank you. Department heads, Chief?
Thank you. I'll go with the monthly activity for November 1st with 722 incidents, 58 arrests, 38 accidents with 327 citations, 419 warnings, and 8 ordinance violations. Again, that was month of November. This Saturday, we have a Santa drive-through from 1 to 3. Families can arrive in their vehicle, stay in their vehicle for a COVID-friendly visit. It'll be located at the police department, with plenty of officers on hand for traffic and handing out some goodies. Thank you, Councilman Starkey, for the goodies so far. Everybody is welcome to attend, have some fun. We're hoping for some great weather. And we'll give you a final count of how many cars come through. We have a lot of guesses, but we'll give you the accurate count at the end of the day there.
Sounds like fun.
Should be a good time. It came to light when a family had mentioned or asked about our Santa here lighting the town hall, and unfortunately because of the COVID, we had to cancel that. And they had mentioned that was their opportunity to see Santa for the year. So we said, well, why not? Let's have something where at least the families that were unable to find a pandemic-friendly place to visit, we can give it to them. So a lot of officers are looking forward to it.
Good.
Councilman Brooks set me up for this one, so I got to hit it out of the park with body cams. But really, the only thing that we have to offer at this time is, other than the actual vendor selection itself needs to be made here shortly. Our next vendor visit is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. At the end of that, myself and Frank and I shall have narrowed down for a selection, and then we'll have a financial impact plan to sit down with the town manager and see where the next steps are to get this done and on the fast track. We do have a family that reached out to us that somewhat contributed $20,000 donation to the program. So we'll be lining that up here in the near future.
That's great.
That'll help tremendously with the implementation of this. We're very excited. Same family that also contributed the same amount to K9. We're very lucky to have residents like that. I would just like to say thank you to the council and the town manager and clerk treasurer this year. If you take a drive around town, it's hard to find an area that has not been a project done or in process. I know it was a county bridge project, but it took a lot of local effort by the town hall, police, fire, public works, and everybody changing their routes and barricades on the phone with Jeff. But from roads to property acquisition to buildings to the new fire station up north, it's just been an amazing year for progression. So I would like to thank you on that one. If you have not stopped by the fire station, police station, parks department up there, it looks amazing. So we're really excited to get just a piece of that. That is all we have here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the police station does look outstanding. Fire department, anything, John?
I have nothing to add.
Okay.
Thank you.
Public Works?
Right now, we're preparing the landscape maintenance specifications for next year. It's been a while since we've actually updated, so there's been a lot of areas that have been added, some things that have been removed, so we want to get that kind of cleaned up so that we can go for some bids for quotes for next year.
Okay.
We finished up our leaf removal landscape for this year. So now we're starting to focus on winter type projects, unfortunately, so getting snow removal and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it right now. What we're doing is public works.
Thank you. Parks, Mike?
Over at Central Park, we have the two projects still going on with the ball field, and then which is in the pads, which are near completion, and then the concession stand restroom facility. The walls have started to go up over for that project. But those two are moving well. So the park looks good. We have another handful of other park improvement projects within the park bond too. That way, the park board is working on as well. So as we get further into those, a lot of those are just the beginning stages. So as we go further along, I'll get a little more closer. And then over at Northgate Park, we did put up the ice skating rink over on the tennis courts. It's filled, everything's ready to go. Just now needs some cold freezing weather for to go and stuff like that. So it's all locked up as of right now. Nobody can get inside until it's ready to go. That's all.
And walking around Pheasant Hills Park, are we getting free fertilizer from the geese that are around there, or what's happening? Because you can't walk around the pathway anymore.
Well, I mean, we have the dogs out there, but
right.
The dogs are not going to work so much. I mean, we moved it again today. So
I mean, we could just get it off and make some fertilizer out of it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there's the other night there was a lot of geese over there too. They're all in the pond today, I know, right? But it's been worse though.
Yes, it has.
Been a lot worse.
Definitely worse. But thank you. Neil is not going to be with us this evening. but he said you have community crossing grant that will be, we've already discussed part of that, or we've accepted it. Next, we have Representative Hal Slager, newly elected. Would you like to share your knowledge with us?
Well, that won't take long. Hi, Hal Slager. I'm back, kind of like a bad penny, I guess. You have my phone number, Madam President, so it's not uncommon where you have issues that are going on in Indianapolis. I'll alert everybody right now. Bill filing deadline is like the 11th or something. And you'll read in the paper about all kinds of crazy bills that get filed that generally don't see the light of day. We really don't know what's in play until we go to the second half later in February when we switch bills so that we know what actually cleared each house.
Now, you're meeting at the state office building, is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
The state spread apart, we get to have some more room. So we're not going to be actually meeting in session in chambers, but we'll have, for instance, Ways and Means will meet in the chambers so that we can spread out there. So yeah, it's going to be a little unusual this year in that regard.
Right.
I did have somebody already contact me about what can we do about the geese. As you know, they're federally protected migratory birds. I'm not sure that designation is really necessary anymore, but the odds of getting a correction through Congress are between slim and none. So,
yes.
Best thing we can do is try to scare them away, I suppose.
The dogs actually do work.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah. And the other thing that came to mind, and I know we passed some legislation regarding body cameras for a framework, but I do believe at the local level, if you've not passed that already, you're going to have some requirements and ordinance on how you handle that data and who it can be availed to and so forth. That's the bigger issue there. It's just something to take a look at. So everybody knows where I live. I'm in Schererville. If something comes up, you need some assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Is this long or short session?
This is long session.
Yeah.
Odd years, long session with the budget.
Yeah.
That'll certainly be the project this year. Those who have indicated that we should spend down that reserve of $2 billion. Fortunately, we didn't follow that advice because more than $1 billion of it has already been spent down through this lack of revenues and expenses and so forth that have come by. So Indiana has the luxury of having reserves to do that. Most people just think it's a reserve. That reserve is, of course, broken up between different categories. 300 million set aside just for education reserve, so that if we had a downturn, there wouldn't be an immediate need to make cuts there. Same thing is the case with Medicaid. We never quite know exactly what those obligations are going to be, and then a rainy day fund. So all the extra money has pretty much been eaten up, and now it's we're down to those designated reserve pools, and so we're going to have to navigate our way. And tomorrow is the first revenue forecast coming out, so we're going to get a real feel for where we stand. Although I suspect by the April revenue forecast, a lot can happen with this vaccine coming out, and hopefully seeing a leveling out of our economic situation. So, as is always the case, it will be specifically the case this year. We're not going to know just how that budget's going to come together until April.
Correct. All right.
So, okay, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. In ordinances and resolutions, this is where we need to figure out if we want to have a meeting on the 21st or not. We have ordinance 2020-17, the 2021 salary ordinance. Do I have a motion to approve the?
I'll make that motion.
You have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye, good. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules and pass it on the second reading?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
who was the second?
Alan.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Now, do we still have to have a meeting on the 21st then?
Well, we're gonna have an executive session
Okay,
to discuss. I don't know if there'll be any more business. I mean, we got an item that came in last night though.
Okay.
So
okay,
we'll figure that out. I'll know better at the end of the week if there's any legislative business, but you've got a work study. We've got some items talking about the work study. You need an executive session.
okay.
You have appointments to make in addition to us bringing you up to speed on litigation.
Mhm.
If you get finalized with your appointments, we can have those ready to go in January with everything. And because you only have one vacancy, and that was on the park board.
Right.
You have to make a decision what you're gonna do with everybody else.
Okay,
We'll have all that for you.
thank you.
So hopefully we'll be done short.
Okay.
short meeting.
Next, we have ordinance 2020-18, an amendment to the ordinance 2010-01 business licenses. Do I have a motion to approve 2020-18?
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 2020-18, amending the business license ordinance for the town of Dyer.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion?
It's nice that we finally have an ordinance for something that we passed months and months ago.
Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye, for the
Eric,
second time.
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Next, we have resolution 2020-23, compensatory storage agreement and release, and this is for the stormwater board, related to the stormwater board.
That is correct.
We have a motion to approve ordinance 2020-23.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2020-23.
We have a
Approve.
second? We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question about item 6, the indemnity clause. Counselor, is that a typical indemnity clause, and is that a deal breaker for this agreement?
Yes and no, to your respective questions. This is a point I had lengthy discussions with Franciscan's attorney. And what this is doing is if there's any EPA or IDEM action related to this project, what the hospitals, because the hospital's taking in the funds, what they're doing in exchange for this is requesting the indemnity. This is not a waiver of liability. This doesn't, if there's any casualty liability associated with this, this does not apply. This is only against third-party government actions related to this project.
Any other discussion? Can we have a roll call, please?
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Next, we have resolution 2020-24, reducing of appropriated funds, fiscal year 2020 budgets. We have a motion to approve. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion?
I will say this item, along with the previous item, ordinance 23, these items would have been ripe for a study session as opposed to an email. It's unfortunate that we're getting this. The TIP allocation The 947,000. Can you explain?
Yes, it was money budgeted that isn't been used, so we simply reduced this year's budget and it pushes it into next year, so we have less to cut. It's all these budget things are. This is the first year in several years that we've done this. We haven't really had a need to do it. But the TIF allocation, the 947 is what's left over after we've awarded all the projects this year. Fire stations paid for, everything that you've approved out of TIF is already encumbered and obligated. This was the balance that's left. So by cutting it gives us more authority next year without going through another process. I've told you before, particularly in TIF, with the capital stuff, I budget much more than what we anticipate getting. And by doing this, we'll reduce it down because I want to make sure we got money for every single project that we can go through. We'll get our allocation, we'll reduce it, but the capital stuff, we're still on schedule to get everything. All these activities, I mean, we could have had a work study session and we'll take it, and you allow me 5 minutes, I can literally go through these things and explain it to you. You find out a lot of it is just budgeting the projects may not have been done. We had some areas, we had transfers, and we've done that before, where we had some things that we were able to cut. The general fund has some issues for next year based on a zero cash balance. We're going to have a cash balance. So by doing this, I'm trying to ease up in the next year as to what we're doing. Budgeting in Indiana is an 18-month process, and you got to kind of do this as we go along. But we're not cutting any programs or doing anything else. I think I mentioned that 100,000 in the general fund is from the medical thing. The medical thing, we've been overfunding to build up our balance, and we're going to be able to reduce the last payments of this year and still be in a good position because our renewal is not till next year. So feel comfortable you haven't touched anything. Okay.
Any other questions? We have a roll call, please.
Aye.
Garrett,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Gary.
Aye. Next, we have the transfer of funds, 2020-25 transfer of funds. Do we have a motion to approve the transfer of funds?
Motion to approve resolution 2020-25.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Garrett,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Gary.
Aye. Resolution 2020-26, internal borrowing authorization. A motion to approve.
I'll make the motion, we approve resolution 2020-26, the internal borrowing authorization.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
This is exactly what we did in June.
Right.
In anticipation, and I don't expect us to have to use, hopefully none of it, but maybe one or two funds, we don't know what. We should, but we will get our tax settlement. We're supposed to get our tax settlement the 22nd, which is
Okay.
good. That gives us plenty of time.
Yeah.
Before the end of the year. Typically, in the old days, you used to get it on New Year's Eve morning and be racing around. So they've already given us some indication, and that'll be a big help because then that'll help us prepare for our 1782 when we get that from the Department of Government Finance, which is our budget order. And our 1782 will probably come late in December or early in January because we've got sell and bond issues. Although we're working with them to get them all the information, so we still get it. So I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah, last year, Tom and Jackie Marie were telling me that the check came in on the 31st when we had our meeting, so I went back to the office and I called my weezer up and he said, Debbie, I expect you to be the first one, and I was the second one who called to see for our tax.
Good. Any other discussion? We have a roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Garrett,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Gary.
Aye. Thank you. Next, we have general orders or old business. Tom, can you fill us in?
Well, we have no old business. We have the new business.
Okay.
It would start with the fire department new hires, and we have a memo with the description of the 7 people
Okay.
that the fire department's recommending we bring on. One of the reasons for the delay has been there's no training academy. It's supposed to be open. These guys are supposed to be able to get in January at the local academy, so we're ready to take these folks on.
So you need a motion to approve the new hires? Have a motion to approve the new hires?
I'll make that motion to approve the new hires.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Vacation buyout due to COVID.
Well, it's due to COVID because it's a large amount. We have periodically at the end of each year, not periodically, I'm sorry, but at the end of each year, we have some employees that aren't able to use all their vacation. And they typically carry over a week and then use it. As you can see from the sheet, we've got police, clerk's office, my office, including building department, and the park department has got vacation carryover. Parks has gotten rid of most of theirs except for actually Mike's the only one. Public Works is able to use up all theirs during the spread of the year and stuff.
Okay.
All right, so what we're asking you for is authority to buy out. We allow people to carry over a week, but buy anybody else out to be done with it. Doesn't carry in the next year. And then you can consider a policy on an ongoing basis. I've done that before. Just because the problem is if you allow the carryovers when someone leaves and you got these long payouts and
Yes.
stuff like that, if you don't monitor them, plus you get it before the value goes up in the following year, it's always the best way to do it. But, you've got the dollar figures, the estimated dollar figures of everybody took everything, just a vacation. Parks would come out of parks. My office is spread out. Clerk's office is spread out. Police comes out of the general.
Tom, don't we already have a policy about you have to use your vacation by the end of the year?
You're allowed to carry over a week. In some circumstances have been that with the code, if you look, and I mean, Dave can explain, he's got 4 or 5 general command people, why they weren't able to take all their time and everything else. In my office, I had some people sick. Debbie had the same problems. I've got 3 people, four people with vacation carryovers, and they've been canceling vacations because they couldn't take them because other people were gone.
So Tom, just to clarify, this is people who had to work because other people were out of work due to COVID.
Yeah, for the most part, and couldn't get
So they couldn't use the vacation when they intended to use the vacation.
Yeah.
And my second question is this covered under the federal COVID relief funds? Can this be encapsulated in money that we lost as a result of COVID?
We got we're going to get our reimbursement, and we're going to put it back in different funds and stuff like that. I don't quite know if that's what the answer is to that specific question, if we could do that. Because I know what we can't do with the COVID stuff is like parks, we talked about how much revenue they've lost in activities. You can't replace lost revenue. So these communities that are losing all kinds, you can't take your allocation and say, well, it's going to replace this lost revenue.
Right. This is additional man hours. We had to pay people to be off on S&D, and in turn we had to pay people.
We're going to get our allocation. We're going to put it in there. We can put money in different funds, but we're going to try to make the funds. When we get our reimbursement back, we'll bring that back. Maybe even as soon as next week. We can look at that because it goes into one fund, and then we can spread it out from there.
So one thing I'd like to see on the next study session is based on the current written personnel policy, the town does not allow for the rollover of vacation and personal time, that policy from 2006, which unless it was updated since then, I don't think it was. So any current practices that we have of rolling over goes against our written policies. So we'll need to look at that if we're going to follow, So I think the issue we have here is, are we going to, under the 2020 asterisk of COVID being what it was, are we going to grant this? But clearly, in my research of this, it has opened up Pandora's box that we are not following our own policies and procedures here in town, and that appears to be through multiple departments. So we will need to, since that's policy, that's not executive, so that needs to be something that we hammer out once and for all. And I think that also will have repercussions on how the Tyler system is set up. Is the Tyler system currently set up towards what our written policies are, or is it set up for what our practices are? Two different things. One, I would say legal and kosher, and one not. So I would think before anybody wants to audit us, that would be something that we'd want to figure out. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, Councilman. I think we need to look at that at the next study session. For the purpose of this, I do feel there is an asterisk next to 2020 with people's ability to shift vacation, have to cancel vacation to serve the town. I'm in favor of either paying out or allowing additional rollover, or a combination of the two.
Do you have a motion to authorize the payout of unused vacation for 2020?
Also motion.
Have a second?
I'll second that motion.
And just to clarify, this is for an optional buyout, not a mandatory.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
No.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
No.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye. Next thing, we have CCMG agreement, excuse me. We have the agreement before you. We need a motion to approve the agreement. The value is $346,240.67.
That's so motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Any and all?
Madam President? I'm
Yes.
sorry, interruption. I failed to grant FOP President Hendricks some time. We want to speak to the council during our section. If you so choose, you would like to speak to the council.
Love to have them.
Sorry about that.
Sure.
Hey, can you tell me what CCMG stands for?
Community Crossing Matching Grant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Council. I just wanted to thank you on behalf of the FOP, which represents all the members of the police department. Everything that we do, the chief echoes to you guys every meeting, every single month. But I wanted to be here to represent all the other members of the police department. I got a couple guys in the back here who came with me. First, obviously, our chief, we've accomplished a lot this year. In 2020, it's been a pretty crazy year for everybody, but especially for law enforcement. We've taken a lot of hits. And between the chief and the town council, we've never had a doubt that this town has our back. I had a list here of all the things that we accomplished. I'm not going to bore you guys by reading it because you guys know what you did for us. But throughout the year, I had a conversation with somebody in this room. I will not name who it is, but a quote was provided to me, and that quote was, "A rising tide lifts all ships." And I just wanted to share that. Admittedly, I had to look it up, and JFK said it back in the 60s. I did not know that. But I think that's representative of what you guys have done for the police department. Not only have you helped us and our members, but by helping us, the entire town has become better. No different than by the Parks Department or the Fire Department in improving any aspect of the town. We all become better. It's not just any individual part of us. So I again wanted to thank you guys, Mr. Starkey, Mr. Brooks, Mrs. Tanis, Mr. Schultz, Mr. Kramer, Mr. Julio, and Mrs. Astor. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of the hearts of every single guys at the police department and gals. Now we have Officer Smith. The chief is part of our lodge too, and on his behalf, thank you for everything you've done for us, for how you've made us feel this year and for having our backs. I have some personalized thank you cards. If you don't mind, I'll just approach, hand them out real quick. I'll let you guys go on with your business, but thank you.
And you are very welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shane.
Thank you.
Mr. Schultz, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Kramer.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
Any and all?
I would, I have one motion I'd like to put forth here. I just want to preface this by saying that I want to acknowledge that the fire department is an integral part of the success of Dyer. And I want to commend all of their staff for the hard work that they do and for the commitment that they have to the town of Dyer. With that being said, I'm looking forward to helping that department take the fire department to the next level. So I would like to make a motion to direct the town manager and town attorney to begin the process to accept applications for a full-time fire chief with a close date of January 15th, 2021.
Second.
A discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Nay. Anything else? Any at all?
Mary, I have some, I have a question on the business license. Do we have to have a second reading on that?
Yeah, it's an ordinance.
I only heard one reading, but I could be wrong.
Well, it passed unanimously, so we could do a second reading now.
Waive the rules. You didn't share it the first time.
Okay,
Pass it again.
we'll suspend the rules and,
The motion is suspended.
Motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second that motion.
okay. Any discussion? Roll call?
Sure, yes, aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye.
I want to thank also the town council for everything they've done for everybody. I'd like to thank the police department for all the security stuff that we've done in my office, for the staff and the bank funds and everything. For updating us. We appreciate that and how public works, what they do for us to keep us clean and safe inside the building, the fire department, and the parks, all they do too. Everybody's been working as a team during this year, and it's been much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to direct the town manager and the town attorney to draft an ordinance removing elected officials from the town's longevity plan. This is something we've talked about for a couple of years. I would just like to see that drafted so that we could have a good discussion over that.
Second.
That'd just be an amendment to the salary.
Eventually, if it passes, yes.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Nay.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Nay. I'm the only one that's on it. Anything else?
Yeah, if I could, sorry I opened your card right away, but thank you. It was very thoughtful. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate everybody in the town, all the department heads, a few other people that may go unnoticed at times, such as Sue. I want to thank you personally, a longtime friend. And of course, our friend up here, Frank, you've done a great job with the electronics, getting everything online. I don't know who tells you thank you, but I want to say thank you, and I do appreciate what you do. So, and everybody else, if I miss somebody, thank you. And again, have a happy holiday, but please be safe. It only takes a little precautions, wear your mask, and enjoy the holidays. Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, in relation to Councilman Starkey's proposal that was passed, I'd like to make a proposal, or I'd like to motion to direct the town manager and the town attorney to draft an ordinance to set a range of salaries for a full-time fire chief. With this being something that we have not had, we have one rate in the current salary ordinance, and I would like to have some thoughtful discussion and debate over if a range would be more appropriate because we don't know the level of experience that we might get from applicants for that position.
I'll second that motion.
Any
Again,
discussion?
Again, it's just an amendment to the salary ordinance.
If
Yes.
Take care
if
of
it passes.
Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Any other? Do you have a motion for adjournment? Do
Motion to adjourn.
you have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We now go into the Redevelopment Commission meeting. We have any citizen input for the Redevelopment Commission? Seeing none. I will entertain a motion to, for Mary Tanis to be the president of the RDC and Eric to be the vice president for 2021.
I'll second the motion.
Wait, the president cannot make a motion.
You make the motion.
I'll make the motion to have Councilmember Tanis as the president and Councilmember Schultz as the vice president, RDC.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Bob,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Eric,
No.
Steve,
No.
Mary.
Aye. Next, we have a consent agenda that includes the minutes of the October 14th, 2020 Redevelopment Commission meeting, minutes of the November 11th, 2020 Redevelopment Commission meeting, and claims totaling $652,550.77. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. General orders or old business, excuse me. Fire station number 2, change order request number 14 for a gas line for clothes dryer. Any discussion? We have a motion to approve the change order 14.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion
Is
Roll
this
call,
next to the
please.
washing machine?
for the dryer? It's a gas line. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Next, we have change order correction number 3, 4, and 5. Tom, can you tell us something about
The
that?
totals are right. There was a mathematical error in the thing, so we just readopted it.
We have a motion to approve the correction, the corrected order.
Motion to approve change order corrections number 3, 4, and 5.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bob,
Aye.
Alan,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Now, we have an anticipated completion
Yeah,
date.
well, a couple things haven't come in, so we're still, when I wrote this, that was the anticipated completion date. We haven't got
Okay.
the exhaust system for the vehicle. And, well, the generator, we knew that was gonna be a long lead time. But I'm concerned about the exhaust, but whenever Hassie's done, we've got to get in and get radios and do everything else. So we're figuring January anyway, but building's substantially completed. Sort of those things. So we'll be moving in sometime in January.
Now, are they going to have a tour for us or for the general public or
Well,
open house?
we need to get in there.
Okay,
And then we can do it if you want to do that. Or you guys can have a tour anytime you want.
okay.
But I think we'll leave it to the public so we get things up and going.
Sure.
And stuff like that. Okay. I want to get in there too. Everybody's anxious to get in. The landscaping we've got out next week. Some of the items I'll have for you are the fencing.
Good.
We've got the price from Fence Masters on that. You can see the layout, that configuration, and maybe a couple other odds and ends. But we're still, the delay is we're concerned with the exhaust system, not having that. Not a showstopper, but it certainly would be useful.
Yes. So we don't have to do we don't have anything to do
What?
We don't have to have any motions for it.
No,
Okay,
no, the exhaust system's in the bids.
okay.
You'll have to award the contract for the fence next week and stuff like that. I just got the stuff today,
Okay.
so.
This is part of, when we think about all the things that have taken place over the last couple of years, especially this year, despite the fact that we've had COVID, we have Hart Street Bridge is finished. We have Cedarhurst would be finished probably the first couple months of,
Yeah, they're hoping by
2021?
February they should be.
right. And we have the fire station. And I think that says a lot about Dyer. What a great town we live in. And it really is due to the cooperation of everybody working together to accomplish these. We have no new business, any and all. Hearing none, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We could have one commission. But 7, so.
We have a study session.
Really just getting kind of next week. Not much on there.
Okay. These are for next week?
Well, no, those are the items that we just had was just the meeting date.
Okay.
And I had some stuff for January.
Any discussion on meeting dates?
Well, I thought we decided on Monday we'll meet. I'll sunshine the executive session. I'll hook Steve up with a link. He may not be able to get back, but we can do the executive session by telephone. And then the meeting will do the Zoom stuff.
Okay.
We'll meet upstairs. And then after that, I'll keep the agenda very short. You got
Okay.
most of the things that require any discussion, but I wanted to leave you some time if it works, but at least go over. We've got the plans and I've got an estimate from a contractor. We can talk about stuff.
Okay.
And for the town hall and start going with that. We're ready to go to bid once you guys decide what you want to bid.
Good.
I've got some prices and we've got the plans drawn. So.
We have a vaccine coming, so 2021 will be better. We all hope.
Sometime.
So Tom,
Okay.
is the intent to meet prior to plan or? meet
Yeah,
after?
I think if, given what we got done tonight in 55 minutes, it must be up. If we need to, we can recess and go to planning commission and then come back.
Okay. Thank you all for coming.
The meeting itself should be shorter.
Counselor, do you have any update on the storage containers? Have we been working on drafts of ordinances?
No, I haven't even had a chance to pull out all the bill stuff. I had that set for January. My plan is to give Adam all the old stuff that we've got, so he can start figuring out what path he wants to take, and then we'll sit down and get some sense from you guys as to what you want to do. Remember, we're adapting something, and then the council months later, so you got to kind of set your plan.
But the direction back in the spring was to find a more targeted ordinance that served the purpose without having as much collateral damage. So hopefully we could land on something
I'll have it
quickly.
ready for January.
Yeah. Will there be anything for the corner of 213th and Sheffield? Any updates at the next meeting?
For me next week? No, we can we'll get the letter sent out. Yeah. We haven't had anything. We honestly, I've had the bond issues to close and everything else. I've been consumed with other stuff. I'm going to get to that. It's on the list.
Anything else? Thank you all for coming.